A few months ago, I was struggling with caring about my social status. I wanted to be viewed as successful by the world. These feelings seemed stuck in me, but today I am very close to complete freedom from them. The less I desire acknowledgement from others, the closer I get to God, and the more focused, energized, and productive I become. My desire for acknowledgement was a stronghold in my mind, not something that I could separate from by myself. I needed God's help. First, through spending time in isolation, reading the Word, and thinking about my thoughts, I received an understanding of how completely fruitless it is to desire acknowledgement from the world. Once I understood this, I asked God to remove this desire from my heart. God worked on me, but He did not bring me from point A to Z in the blink of an eye. Day after day, I was required to maintain this understanding. Day after day, I was required to maintain a desire to change. A few months later, my desire for acknowledgement is close to non-existent. I feel closer to God and more aligned to His will. Whatever the sin, stronghold, or bad habit is, separating from it is the same formula. Whether it's envious or lustful thoughts, or checking the phone every 2 minutes, the first step toward freedom is recognizing and understanding the utter fruitlessness of the habit. We can ask God for this understanding. Second, we must truly hate the habit. If we do not truly hate our bad habits, why would God help us separate from them? Our genuine desire to be clean is extremely important. I hate vain thoughts, but your law do I love. Last but not least, we must ask God to remove the stronghold from our hearts. God needs to see that we are not being double-minded. We can get on our knees and ask God for help, but if the next moment we are fellowshipping with people who hold the same habits and desires that we claim to want to separate from, then it is clear that we are not truly serious about changing. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Awake to righteousness, and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of God. God expects us to actively seek solutions. When we genuinely desire to change, and maintain this desire each day, when we are genuinely willing to make changes today, God will give us the strength, wisdom, and grace to do so. Fasting helps this process. Howbeit, this kind goes not out but by prayer and fasting. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that gives to all men liberally, and upbraids not, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavers is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he will receive anything of the Lord. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You ask and receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lusts. The friendship of the world is enmity with God. Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God. The Spirit that dwells in us lusts to envy, but He gives more grace. Therefore He said, God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. This people draw near to me with their mouth, and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain they do worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. The heart is deceitful above all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruit of his doings. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Hallelujah.